You are now live with Layer 8 Culture, Tech Thursday.
What's up, y'all? It's Tech Thursday. Tech Thursday with D-Tech. And today, or tonight, we can get into a little bit of AI news. Well, actually, a lot of AI news. Because we got Fable 5, got Shutdown, we got Sora 2 I've been messing around with. A little bit of AI video generation in Azure Foundry. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. And Azure Foundry, give you a peek of Azure Foundry Playground. A lot of cool tools there. And then we'll talk about kind of what I've been building, my AI stack. I do have this like content engine I've been building now, which is pretty cool. So I'll share a little bit of that, and then we might touch on a little bit of Comfy UI, which is like image and video generation. You could like load models in. It's pretty open source, so it's very easy. Well, actually, it's kind of easy to get into. It's very inconsistent, so we'll get into that. Um, so let's start with the big news because this shocked me. So I know last time we were talking, we talked about this Anthropic thing, right? We were talking about I'll bring it up on the stage here. Here we go. Share my screen. All right, cool. So last time we talked about Fable 5 that being launched and how amazing it was. We had some stats on what was it? We had some benchmarks on agentic coding, and then also cybersecurity. It scored really high on. And of course, it's a Mythos class model, and I was in it. I was messing around with it. Of course, I still have my Claude that I was using, and I think it was probably Friday night. I was in there, maybe Thursday. No, it was Friday night. Friday evening, I was in there messing around with some stuff, and it stopped working. I was like, "That's weird." So I didn't pay any mind, any attention. I kept going, and then Saturday, I went back in it, and I saw like it was still unavailable, and there's like a little extra note to it. So they don't show the note anymore because you can't even click on it. Before I could click on it, and then like there was a note, so I had to actually look the note up again. So here's the note that I saw on Saturday. It basically says U.S. government basically shut down. It's issued an export control directive to suspend all access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 by any foreign national. So you might say, oh, well, what does that have to do with me? I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a foreign national. Guess what? Anthropic has millions of users, and they don't track who's a citizen, who's not. So they basically had to shut the whole thing down. And they're citing here that received directive. Also, Anthropic saying they received the directive from the government today at 5:21 p.m. The letter did not provide specific details of its national security concern, or our understanding is that the government believes it has become aware of a method of bypassing or jailbreaking Fable 5. We reviewed a demonstration of this specific technique being used to identify a small number of previously known minor vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities all appear relatively simple, and we have found that other publicly available models are able to discover them as well without requiring a bad bypass. So basically, they're saying, like, nah, federal government, you guys got it wrong. Like, it's not a big deal. Um, and they were basically able to shut it down, which is very interesting. And then it also ties back into like how we saw last week that Fable 5 actually holds your data for 30 days, which hasn't been done before by Anthropic. So there are safeguards in there to make sure nothing malicious is happening. If you scroll down to the article, of course, it said we've instituted strong safeguards that greatly reduce the likelihood that Fable is misused for tasks related to cybersecurity, among others. In fact, our safeguards are so strong that many users have complained that they're overly broad. So yeah, so very interesting. It really sucks because I didn't like when new models come out. I normally don't just jump to them because just they behave differently. and if I'm working on something, I want it to be more consistent. So I'll normally like get into it after I finish a project, or I'm like hit a good phase of a project where I know like it's good. I just want to make some updates. I might switch to another model, but I'm consistently choosing Claude Opus, um, or now called Opus 4.8, is what I consistently use on a regular basis. So, on other news, I am working in Azure Foundry. So, as a lot of you know, I'm an Azure guy. I'm a Microsoft guy. I love Microsoft products and services. Not going to mention why, but I do. Um, so, of course, I have an entire Azure environment. What I normally do is when I do build a web app or a application using GitHub Copilot CLI, I will normally build it local host. That means it stays on my computer. And then when I'm ready to deploy it, I'll put it into my Azure environment. Then I'm able to get a URL. I'm able to access it from the web, all types of cool stuff. And I can even lock it down, make it even more secure, make sure it authenticates through my Azure login, and then it's pretty safe. That's the good thing about being on the Azure environment is that security is a real top concern. So it's a secure environment. Of course, you have pretty good on uptime. Like you're not a lot of these applications and virtual machines are not gonna shut down on you. So I can basically shut my computer down. I can lose my computer, and guess what? All my code is here in the cloud. It's safe. It's secure. I mean, a couple bucks a month, not too bad for what you get. But Microsoft, aside from like the cloud environment, Microsoft has this thing called Foundry, and I'm gonna go to it now. There we go. These are my Foundry resources. So I've set up Foundry resource groups, and through these resource groups, I am able to. Here we go. Foundry. That's what I was looking for. The Foundry portal. So through these portals, let's go to that stuff. They have this thing called Playgrounds, which is really cool. Actually, let's start with the model catalog. So if you get Azure Foundry, you do get access to like all the different models. Well, not all of them, but a lot of the different models that are out there. As you can see, Claude Fable 5 is there. Let's check it out, see what it says. I've already checked it out and kind of saw what it says. So, of course, like you get information on the model. Scroll down. You can try to use the model, I should say. If it works, I'm going to lose it. All right, so let's say I'm doing it for technology, right? Terms of use. Add. Okay, there we go. So it's there. Then down here, it's not available in any of the regions. So of course you can't use it. But it is there. And this actually was a preview. This is not like this is training last updated 2026. So I'm not sure how long that's even been there. It might have been there longer than since it came out. That got special access out here. Here's your Opus 4.8, GPT real time, speech to speech. Lots of cool models. A lot around chatbots, around image to text. There's text to image, of course. There's what's our favorite one? GPT image 5. Image 2, what am I saying? I like GPT image 2. Text to image. So I click on that, I can use the model, deploy it into one of my solutions, leverage the API, and have my CLI or automation talk directly to the model to create. Um, I haven't really messed with the other text to image ones like this MAI. Seems like an older one. It doesn't have a date or when it was released. And what's another cool one? And then of course we found Sora. So Sora is oh man, what happened now? It was there. Sora 2. Where are you? I'm in the right. Mm, that's weird. I don't know. But if you go to the playground, you get more of like a chat interface type setup. The cool thing is though, if you leverage GitHub Copilot CLI and then also connected to your Azure, so Azure environment has a CLI as well that you can use to actually spin up VMs. Basically, do a lot of DevOps work. You can uh, create resource groups, manage them all from a command line interface. The cool thing about that is that your GitHub Copilot CLI can then plug into your Azure CLI, use that, get your authentication. So it basically says it's you, and then it can go in your environment and do whatever it needs. You saw that I can't deploy. Actually, I wasn't able to deploy Sora 2 directly to my resource group that I created, but that's because Sora 2 is in preview. So if we go to try in the playground, look at that. There we go. It's the fun part right here. So all of this is text to image. And this is Sora 2. It's not Sora 2 Pro. So you're only allowed to attach one image for like if you want to reference it. The thing that sucks is like this, the image that you attach, since it's in public preview, I gotta figure out why I keep getting this error. But because it's in public preview, the image that you attach has to be the same resolution as the output, which is like doesn't even make any sense. Um, but that's the point of public preview. It's not G8 or generally accessible yet. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can create. So they give you like ideas, of course. All this, of course, all the stuff they show you is in like 1080p, which is not what you're going to create. The cool thing down here is that you can do 4 seconds, you can do 12 seconds. I feel like 8 seconds is always the sweet spot. But they've got different industries. What's some cool ones I saw? This one's really cool. Space one. Look at that. This one's pretty neat. It's cool. This one's cool. I'll recreate this one. I'll show you that in a sec. But basically, you just go down here. You can click on the prompt that they use. Video of a lion space, staring at the camera. It pops up. Education. Really cool stuff. This is like good for B-roll because I have not been able to do. I was trying to do like this AR AI avatar. That's really cool. This AI avatar thing hasn't really worked out. What has worked out is just having general guidance and then creating images from it, videos from it. Oh, the media. That one. This one's cool. Let's go. This one's dope right here. The night. Like this is just awesome visual. I love it. You got retail stuff. Neat. Cool stuff. All right. So generation history. So this is stuff that I've created. I'll get into why is it ooh, I might have it automatically. I gotta check. Hmm, interesting. I had a lot more content here. It might be probably. I might have said stuff. All right. So remember that one we saw with the mountain? This is like I just like basically took the prompt that they provided, kind of modified a little bit, you know, Jamaica. That's pretty neat. And then this is where we get to the fun stuff. So I have what is it? I had this idea of this thing called Community Radar, and what it is, what it was. I'll go back to Sora. What it was, or is, I should say, is like a custom algorithm for um for finding people in like a niche segment. Like you want to find people on social media, but you don't want to use like the Instagram algorithm or the YouTube algorithm. You want to like have your own where you can actually search and find people and connect with them and like find people that are like interesting but not like super popular or viral already. So I built this thing, like my own algorithm, I should say, called Community Radar. And what it does is it goes out, or the idea was that it goes out, scans Instagram, scans all these different social media sites, and looks at people that are like consistently building content that are in a specific niche or topic area and that are like interesting. So I tried it out when I first launched Layer A Culture. It was like a very, I don't think I think I would probably delete the app. But basically, it was like very pretty clunky. It was cool, but like I was going through, I was using Reddit as a source. I use YouTube as a source, and those are the main ones. And then I would like patch through YouTube because YouTube. So when you go to YouTube and you pull all that data, they actually don't charge you. So they let you pull like a lot of their information that's on YouTube. You can actually pull and utilize. I think it's up to like 10,000 requests or something per day. And through that, cool thing is a lot of people that are on YouTube leave their social media links. So they'll put like their Instagram, their Twitter/X, they'll put like their website link, email, they'll put information into their YouTube. So it'll scrape the YouTube, it'll pick out the ones that have information to other social media sites, and it'll like categorize them into a CRM, which is pretty cool. And you can click on them, go to their page, like it'll do like a quick AI comment generation, like that is applicable to what they're talking about. So you're not like, let me just put some garbage in. Hey, you got to think about what you're gonna say. It's kind of just like suggested comments. It was pretty neat, but it was kind of clunky. I didn't really like the how many clicks you had to go through, so I was modifying it like over and over again. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start from scratch. So I actually share that. I actually got an actual name for it. Call it Sonar. Let's see if I can bring up Sonar. It's protected. See, that's the cool thing about the Azure environment is that it's protected. Because right now, if I just showed you guys this and it wasn't protected, you guys just take that URL and just use my stuff. But you can't because you got to sign in with the Microsoft account. Cool. All right, so here it is. This is called Sonar Creator Intelligence by Layer A Culture. So out of the box, people to engage. You get all these different. Actually, you don't get these different people out of the box. What happens is you got to go to settings. You got to set this stuff up yourself. So you're basically at this point you're setting up your own algorithm. So you'll go in, put in some keywords. Of course, like Layer culture, we're really focused on vibe coding, AI agents, Claude, Opus, all the cool stuff. We put some hashtags in. We put some news feeds, and also ChatGPT or Claude AI will help you with this stuff. Um, put in some audience topics and ICP tone. That's when you're responding back, right? You save that, and then you go back over here. Is this fresh? No, it's not fresh. I actually set this up to run automatically, but I can also do run it manually, and it does keep track of how many queries you've used. So I started at 10,000 today, and then I'm down to 7,800. Those are 7,800. Those were 10,000 minus 7,800 um, accounts that it went through to get to this group of accounts. So we'll run it again. We'll let it scan, and the cool thing is you'll actually see it go through. It'll count down on the credits that you have. So we'll give it a sec. I think yeah, it's going down. So again, like I wanted to make this very mobile friendly, so that's why it's in this format. So actually, go use it on my mobile phone because it's much easier to just go from your mobile phone to Instagram. I'll show you the process on here, but it's just easier. Like you'll get the person, like you'll have the person right here. You can click. There we go. Cool. We got a fresh list. Not so fresh list because it gave me some. I need to fix that thing because it still showed me some old people. Oh, I could do hide contact. Okay, cool. It already contacted those people. So these are fresh. This is a fresh list. So the top one here says, "Hey, this is a 75% match." It's almost like what do you call it? Um, Tinder for social networking. I don't know. So 70% match. They got multiple platforms. They're collaborating, so this is probably a good person to collaborate with. 77,600 followers on YouTube, Instagram. No subscribers on YouTube. That's okay. We click on their Instagram here. We got Takats 42. Let's follow him. Now here's the sauce right here. So if I click on his page, right? So I followed him. I'm tracking that. It shows his recent comments. So his recent comment here was like closest relationships are everything. Kind of vague, but okay. Has 9 likes, no comments. Let's open up the post. That's not the post. Hold on. Let's open up the post. I don't know why Instagram does that sometimes. It will. Okay, it's not open up the post. That's not the post. Demos are pairs. Um, let's pick a different one. That's the first time that's happened. Daniel, it's a new one. All right, so click on him. Garage. Oh gosh. Maybe I need to make sure I need to upgrade my update my code. All right, third one's the charm. It's in English. Yay. It's a good it's a good one. All right. He posted today. All right. He or she, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. So we're talking about Opus 4.8. Cool. All right, open the post. Yep, this is it. So this is good. Cool. We're talking about if rain on a website could be weather. That's pretty cool. Nice little effect. Pretty neat. So then I hit this draft a comment. Actually goes down, it does a query to OpenAI. And it's looking at the post and it's basically giving me a comment that I should use. So I touch reactive fluid motion. It's so satisfying to watch. Looks like you've turned the screen into a living canvas. Seriously cool work. That's so weird how accurate this thing is because guess what? That's not in the. I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of in the text, but yeah, it's pretty spot on. I was paste this in. I'm interacting. Gave me a good starting point. Like the post, definitely follow. Cool. And that's Sonar. And then I just go here. Boom, boom, boom. Enough contact. Boom. All right. So that's like my feed, my personal feed that I can go through. And you see a lot of people that just kind of get buried underneath um, the regular algorithm that you could find. So that's like my personal thing. And the cool thing is I can use it for different accounts. So this is my Larry Culture account. Then there's other accounts that I could be working on. So that's that project. Another project, which brings me to the well, I'm using a lot of video generation. So I've automated my social media content creation, scheduling, and publishing. And I'm doing it fully open source. I did use Buffer in the past, but had some issues as far as like generating the content. I said generate content. It was still time consuming. This is a much better method. Um, so where do I start? Okay, so this I'll start at the end and then work my way back. So post is post is this a weird name for sure. Post is open source, can be found on GitHub. And here we go. So what it does, of course you can use it with OpenClaw, but you use it with any other agent called Claude Code, GitHub Copilot CLI, all that fun stuff. And it's basically a replacement for Buffer, Hyperfury, Twitter Hunter. And what it does, it allows you to schedule your posts. You're able to connect in your social media accounts, look at stats, schedule your stuff day by day, and it's all open source, meaning it's free. Right there, boom, 100% free. Now, of course, they have a plan where you can host your stuff on their cloud and it's at a cost, but you know what you're doing, especially if you're leveraging Copilot. You can just host it on your own personal computer as a server, or you can host it in the cloud, like I do, on a virtual machine. So if we go back here, see I have my Post-its resource group, and then I have Post-its VM, has this space, connects to the internet, and that's where I was able to download and set up Post-its on. So when I go here, it's actually talking to this VM here, which is in my Azure environment. So install that. That was pretty easy. And of course, I'm doing all this through GitHub Copilot CLI. This is installed to post. And I'm working backwards, actually, people. So first thing I did was say that I wanted something to create the content, leveraging Open OpenAI's GPT-2 image API. So I already have my API account with OpenAI, which is separate from when you're paying your like $20 a month or $100 a month, whatever you're paying. That experience of that experience of ChatGPT right here is different from this experience. What's it? API than this experience. So if you're using an API to connect, you do have to pay in a different way on top of your monthly bill. I'm trying to find where the payments are. Payments? I'm not sure. Is there somewhere though? Usage? I don't know. Is there somewhere? But wow, I only spent like $3. It's cool. So what I did was basically I said, hey, I set up a project folder. I'm all over the place, people. I am a little tired. It's all good. So I have my projects in separate folders. And this one called Layer 8 Content. So what I did, actually, I hate when that happens. I wasn't sharing my screen. So, so when I set so I have my different projects right here on my C drive. To keep it simple. And when I have an idea for a project, I create a new folder, and then I start adding files. Right. So in this one, I was very deliberate about adding um, what we call brand guidelines. So brand guidelines around layer 8 culture, which is right here, layer 8 voice, layer 8 culture voice. And what this is a basically a text file that has notes all on what layer 8 culture deems as brand guidance. I'll open it up. Mm, mm, mm. Stop sharing. Screen. Lots of words. It's going to be overloaded inside. So, and this is actually created through ChatGPT. It's, it's just easier because basically ChatGPT has a lot of the context around what layer 8 culture is as far as brand, what the idea is. I could just use voice, talk to ChatGPT about it. I could type in stuff about it. I can add other files about it. I can say, hey, write me brand guidance based on what you have on this. So the copywriting, like a lot of the uh, quotes and stuff, right here. The voice is calm, confident, visionary, intelligent, cinematic. You guys see that all throughout a lot of content I post. Hooks and call to actions, both claim or belief. Being very definitive about what I believe. Um, just a lot of information for the AI to reason on. And then we talk about per platform, kind of what the guidance is. Gonna hold out on LinkedIn. I'm not gonna do LinkedIn yet, but for Instagram, kind of a hook line, call to action, like um, go to the comments type of vibe. Twitter X, we got TikTok. We'll get into TikTok probably this upcoming week. I'm connected to TikTok, but right now it's just Instagram that I have it connected to, and then kind of North Star, like what that guidance is and what that looks like as well. So having all that provides context, right? Context is very important when it comes to doing agentic work. So I provided context. I did provide some visual styles as well, as far as what I think it should look like. Um, I have a hashtags file, so I do have topics associated with the the content generation engine also. So there's like certain topics that I lean towards, and the cool thing about that is the topics are a combination of news feeds that the AI goes out to every day, pulls in new news on AI, pulls new news about um, what's going on in the world. It also looks at the transcripts of the Tech Thursdays and all this content we're posting, goes through that, creates content from that, and then um, those are like two main sources. I think that's it. So it looks at all that information, looks at the brand guidelines, then goes in, uses um, OpenAI GPT-2 to create an image, and then uses a JavaScript program that it built to overlay words on top of that image. So the result is that you get a very consistent type of post. And then, of course, that's all loaded into Post-its. but not before I get an actual request. So this thing runs like early in the morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then when I wake up in the morning, I get a notification on my phone saying, hey, these are the posts that I have planned for today. I can go in, actually preview them, look at them. I can make some suggestions if I want, but most of the times I've just been approving them because they've been great quality posts. And then I don't have to worry about it. I just see them post. And then really what I should be doing is I should still be posting more organic comment, more organic, more organic comment, more organic content. I don't know why I can't say that word. I should be posting more organic. We should screen again. Let's go here real quick. I don't know what that was about. So we go in here. Actually, we go to media. We'll see all the content that was posted. That's easy to do. So this for the past week. This is all the content that has been created by OpenAI GPT. This even includes video content. Like this is really cool. It even does carousel. So this is part of the carousel. You can start here. I do different models in here. This is the one. So really good content. I'm like super excited about this because man, this is dope content. This is dope. Wow, just amazing. How high quality content is. Here's another one of my favorites. Just like very simple, but very on brand with Larry culture. It's so cool. And of course, I plugged it into OpenAI GPT image, and then just last night I plugged it into Sora as well. So, and then also made self learning. So it actually goes through the analytics. This is past 7 days. Oh, we'll get to the radio call. We'll get to that one. But what is going? Oh, man, what's going on with my Instagram? Okay, we're gonna figure that out. Anyways, um, so yeah, the schedule actually changes day to day. I've been like messing around with it manually, but it actually learns when the best time to schedule is. It will adjust. So this will run again early Friday morning, and then it'll actually have a list of about 3 to 4 different posts that it will do each day. So cool stuff. Next thing I want to touch on is the radio thing. So one thing that I have noticed is that we don't have enough. Like I like listening to lo-fi, but when I go into like YouTube and stuff, I don't see any cool like Afrobeat type of lo-fi stuff. Let's just look right here. Afrobeat lo-fi, right? Like actually, not too bad. Like it's cool. It's just not the vibe I was going. This one's pretty cool, but then like the way it's clicking, I don't know. It's just not just with my vibe. Like I'm a very visual and audible person, so no knock to these creators. Like it's cool stuff, but I was looking for something more like Afro beats, lo-fi girl. Like lo-fi. Actually, the Bart Simpson lo-fi stuff is pretty cool. Like even a vibe like that without him smoking or something like that's crazy. Like cool. It's a cool, but like this one's a cool vibe. But it's like I don't want to sit and watch Bart Simpson. I want to watch something cool. So that's where layer 8 cultural radio comes in. So my motto is if I can't find it, let's create it. We can do that. So I use Suno, created the kind of music I wanted. I wanted an Afrobeat type of lo-fi vibe. And I wanted to have a black person look like me. Very futuristic, inspiring. All this. And all this was it's just using Higgsfield, taking the image, animating it, dropping it in CapCut. Same stuff I showed you guys last week. Dropping it into CapCut and just looping it and repeating it for until I got to a minute 42, 1 hour 42 minutes. And then putting the songs together. Of course, like I had a whole vibe to the songs. Like I had songs that kind of start out the audio stream, songs in the middle where you're in the middle of things, songs that damper out the mood, down. So I built that whole vibe for two prompts and put this together along with the transition video created like an intro. So it starts off with the intro scene, so, and also has an ending scene. And my idea was like, hey, let's make this a separate thing apart from their culture. We just post content like this, you know. And as you can see here, I have a nighttime one, summer stuff, nighttime. It's cool, man. So like just an example of if you want to, you know what you're doing, you want to try it out. Don't be scared, just do it. That's definitely my motto. So the next one I'm gonna make, I'm going in between like a sunset scene or a rainy scene. I think the sunset scene might be next. I do want to pace it down, not just drop a bunch of these. I do want to test what's working, what's not. It seems like this sunrise, daytime, will be much better. I might do the sunset. I might skip. I do want to do like reggae. I want to do Latin. I want to do jazz, hip hop, different ones. And then of course, even aside from this scene, like just do like a study scene. You don't have to just be studying or chilling. So it's like a fun project. Like I love music. I love making videos. I love art. I think that's why I gravitate towards lyric culture because it's really about art and creativity coming together with technology. Using that to create, whether it's code, whether it's art, whether it's music. All right, so check out Layer 8 Culture Radio. I haven't been really promoting it. I was working on slowly building up a catalog I want, and I have some ideas about like having an album and all types of stuff. We'll get there. So what we got next? I think I just went into like what I was yeah, going up there, go to the chat. Well, I think we're gonna wrap the stream, y'all. It's been good. I'll continue to work on definitely the lyric culture radio. Definitely gonna continue working on content generation. And I got some other building websites using AI, but I am looking at scalable, easy way to do it, and so that people can actually update their sites easily without having to interact with AI. There is this tool called Sanity that you can use to kind of update your site. Um, might be beneficial. But thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all next week, Tech Thursdays. Peace.